I just want to pick right up where we've left off in this little thought about hitting the reboot button or the reset button. And tonight I want to talk to you about family. As you know, since this has all started, a lot of people are spending more time with family than they're used to. And that's actually a great thing. And as we've talked about, just hitting the reset button as a culture, this is something that I personally believe is very, very needed in our culture today. For some people, this has been an awesome time because they're used to spending time with their family and doing things together. So it's kind of been like in that sense, a treat to get to spend more time together. Whereas I know that for some families, depending on the dynamics that you have, maybe even such a thing as the living space that you're in, it's been more challenging in nature. But I want to encourage you, church, to take this time to grow together as a family. And when I say that, I'm not just talking about growing closer. I'm talking about recentering around what's most important. So we know in the natural there are things that are important for a family, such as love and security and those kind of things. And this is a great time for families to come together to support one another and to help one another through the different stages and challenges that we go through during these days. But I want to remind you, church, that it's even more so an incredible opportunity as a family to potentially hit the reset button and remember that it's not just about growing close, it's about centering on the most important. I want to read to you again. I shared this verse once before in our Devos, but I want to share it again because it bears repeating. Actually, two verses. It's from Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 6 and 7. It says, "These words that I command you today shall be in your heart. You shall teach them diligently to your children. You shall talk of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise up." God is literally saying right here that first of all, the law, the words that he's speaking need to first be in your heart. Because if they're not truly fundamentally deep in our heart, that's why we said that it's so important that the Word of God is our foundation right now. Because we need to dig deep and let the Word of God go deep into our heart, because that's how we as a family can then help center our life as families around Jesus Christ, who is the foundation, the very cornerstone of our faith. He is the living Word that we can center around. And so it literally goes on in this passage to say, talk about them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, when you rise up. In other words, what God is saying, talk about them all the time. These words, the Bible, the Word of God that he is sharing with us. And so I encourage you, as a family, no matter what that family looks like, maybe some of you have grown kids, take this opportunity still to touch base with your children and talk to them about the meaningful things, the things that matter. Maybe you have young kids at home. They're never too young to be reminded of what's most important. Church, I think this is an incredible time as a culture for the first time that we have a time to literally say, okay, let's time out, let's reevaluate, and let's look at what really matters. Family is in the heart of God. It is something that's incredibly important to him, and so it should be important to us. Church, I would encourage you, take this time, talk as a family, center around Jesus. Maybe talk about things that you may need to do to adjust your lives, not just for this season, but make a permanent adjustment to make sure that Jesus is not just part of your list of priorities, but that he is the very core and the very center of who you are as a family. Church, this is an incredible time to take those moments, talk with your kids, talk with your spouse, talk with your siblings, talk to the people that are the closest to you about what's the most important to you. Be blessed tonight, church, and enjoy your conversation with your family.